Internet, Eric here. Well, it's Slashback Saturday again. If you don't know what that is, or new to the channel, Slashback Saturday is a concept created by my buddy Joe, the Horror Man, over on his channel. What it is every Saturday, it's pretty simple. He has a specific category, and what you do is you find a slasher movie that fits specifically into this category, make a video of it. All right. This week's category was vacation slashers, and the requirements were, it has to be a slasher movie, obviously, but the requirements were discuss a film where the characters are on vacation or a getaway. All right, and I stress the term getaway. He did say getaway in his requirements. So, being that it is a getaway, my vacation slasher I'm going to talk about today, Wrong Turn. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, what have you, even though there are, I believe, 7 of these movies, and this came out in 2003. Watch at your own risk. Now, the basic plot of this is we're following Desmond Harrington from Ghost Ship, and Dexter is what I know him from. He's a medical student or what have you, driving from here to there, gets caught up in some traffic, turns around, goes to a gas station, finds a map of the area. He's in West Virginia, and he finds a map of the area, and what it is he sees that there's this dirt road, and he goes down that road, and while he's going down that road, don't go down that road, he's distracted by, I think, a deer carcass or something. He sideswipes the vehicle that's containing Eliza Dushku and Jeremy Sisto and a whole bunch of other people, and they are on a getaway because you find out later that Eliza Dushku's boyfriend dumped her, so they're going on like a getaway camping trip. And while this happens, they are being stalked in the West Virginia woods by some inbred, murderous, redneck creatures, humanoids, what have you. There you go. Wow. Fucking love this one. Me and my wife saw this in theaters based on a recommendation of a friend of ours. He saw this. He said, "You guys got to see it." He knew I enjoyed horror. Me and the wife had just started dating. So we went to the cheap theater. We watched this. We really, really enjoyed it. Lots of fun. First off, we'll talk about the characters. A lot of them, they're pretty much stereotypical. You have Jeremy Sisto, who does a good... I mean, they're all good in their roles, so don't get me wrong. So we'll keep that short and sweet. They're all good at what they do. But Jeremy Sisto, he is, he's the good guy, After Desmond Harrington gets into the car wreck, he's the one that's always making sure, are you okay? Dude, you okay? You need to sit down. So he's the good guy. And, he takes initiative when things need to be done to distract the hillbillies or whatever. Eliza Dushku, she's the tough chick, because you find out she's recently been, dumped by her boyfriend. But she's the tough chick. She's the one with the barrier up. Because after we find out Desmond Harrington's okay, she walks by, she calls him Speed Racer, and she throws a backpack at him. She's like, "Okay, you're our mule." As they got to walk to get help. So she's a tough chick. Desmond Harrington is just your everyday man, he's there. Then you got Emmanuelle Chriqui. Is that how you pronounce her name? Emmanuelle, something like that. She's just like the pretty girl, the princess. Always scared, this and that, but. Then you got the couple, who's just there to have sex and get stoned while they go do their thing. They go try to find someone to rescue them. So, but everyone's good in their role. Chemistry with everybody, fantastic. So, you love the characters. So that's great. The inbred hillbillies. First off, let's start out. I love how the movie starts out. We see this couple rock climbing, and then, of course, they are massacred in a really cool way. And then I love the opening credits. That's what I really like. That's a really good, go-getter. It grabs you, pulls you in. Because you got the opening credits, and it's super... And they're going while different images of mutations are shown on screen, and newspaper clippings of supposed mountain men living in West Virginia. Inbreeders, missing children... Yeah, that's what caught me. There's a picture of a missing girl, not just hikers, missing girls in West Virginia. So you know something's up. And then when we get to these mountain men, disgusting looking, obviously deformed. There's one creature called Three Finger. He's in sequential sequels, or however you say that. But they got the oversized foreheads. They're really skeletal. They got the hair lips and deformed hands and nasty fucking teeth. Great makeup job. I know it was done by Stan Winston Studios. I don't know if Stan was dead by the time, but either way, the studios do a good job making these mountain men look disgusting. And speaking of disgusting, not to poke fun at West Virginians, but when Desmond Harrington, when he in the very beginning, when he goes up to the gas station, you're gonna have this disgusting feel because this movie does make you feel gross. The first thing we see is the gas station attendant, and he's literally got like maybe 3 or 4 teeth. They're missing on the sides. He's got one tooth right there. He's sitting there all slovenly, slobbering. Probably hasn't taken a bath in like 3 or 4 days. Drinking Pepto-Bismol out of the bottle, slobbering all over himself. So you're already feeling gross. And then eventually the group makes their way into the lair, and that is also disgusting. I think Emmanuelle, the hot chick, the one that's not Eliza Dushku, she has to use the bathroom, and she's dating Jeremy Sisto, and she says, I have to use the bathroom, and Sisto says, honey, I think this is the bathroom, as they're looking like through the cabin. I mean, obviously, there's cockroaches and mold and just shit everywhere, rotten food, dirty everything. It's just gross. So the set design does what it's supposed to do. It makes you feel disgusted. Now, let's get to the gore. The gore is great as well. We creative, not over the top, like in your face, just gratuitous, just to be gratuitous. But when it hits great. There is like the opening scene, which is quick. We have a couple good kills, but the most memorable ones, we have a couple off-screen kills, which are disappointing, but it does pay off later because you find a piece of that person on the ground, so their body's still around. But like some of the memorable deaths. These mountain men, they love to use barbed wire, and that's how they get you. They tie the barbed wire from one tree to another and lay it on the road. Well, of course, one person has to get barbed wire wrapped around the face and pulled, and you get the wire garroting them across the mouth. So, and you get the shaky cam a little bit, and it's quick. It's not over the top and gratuitous, but it leaves an impact. So you got that, and then you got I'll save one death for the end. But then you got the usual like axes used, arrows used. There's a really good arrow death. I won't say what character that is. And then you get like the death of the movie. You already know she's gonna die, so fucking Emmanuelle Chriqui. However bad I'm butchering her name. There's a great scene where eventually they find themselves in a watchtower, in the woods, climb up to the top, and then the rednecks, mountain men, find them. They're climbing up to the top. So there's, I don't remember how it's happened, but there's a fire set to the watchtower, so everybody has to jump out of the watchtower and into the trees, which is great stunt work, great wire work, whatever. It looks brutal, especially when people are falling on the branches, and they have to do this like, it's not over the top, but I'm saying Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where they're on the tree limbs and stuff like that. And poor Emmanuelle, she gets the death of the night when she gets a hatchet swung at her, and it's coming towards the camera, and then you focus on her eyes, and then her eyes start to her pupils start to dilate, and you see that she's cut right there. And what's great about this is her head stays there, right on top of the hatchet. We see her body fall down the trees, and then the rest goes. So great death, very creative, love that. And there's just it got great flow, from beginning to end. There's some great, one of my favorite scenes and favorite shots in this whole film is when the group's all hiding in the lair, I guess you would say, and they know here come the mountain men, and Desmond Harrington and Eliza Dushku, they're under one of the beds, and I think one of the mountain men, they're dragging the redhead. She was one of the stoner horny ones that stayed back when the others went to go find help. And he drags her and he just drops her. Like he's dragging her. Like she's the one that got the barbed wire across the face. So he's dragging her by the barbed wire like this. And, it's great because, you see the feet drag and stuff like that. And he drops her down. And, of course, the head is right in sight, of Desmond and Elijah under the bed. And, of course, the dead body's looking right at her. It actually looks good. Lots of times when they make these fake heads, it looks like shit because, the eyes never look great. This is a good look. So I don't know if this was with fake or the actress had appliances on. But anyways, so she's dropped right there and the dead body is staring at them. But the blood starts pouring out of her mouth, out of the wounds. And it's this great shot of the blood going on the floor. And Desmond, he's on the ground like this. Okay? And the blood is just slowly going to his hand, and he's got to be quiet, and I think it actually hits his hand. Just his look of disgust and fear is great. Wonderful shot. Love that. Love the end, the final confrontation when Desmond has to rescue Eliza, Jesus, rescues her. She's strapped to the bed. She was captured, obviously. That final fight, or what you would call in the cabin, is great. There's fire added to it, and explosions, and vehicles, and it's not over the top, but it's just great. This movie came out at a time when horror was really, really good. Ghost Ship, House on Haunted Hill remake, 13 Ghosts remake. I don't remember if I liked Gothic or not, but anyways, that span of time, this came out at the perfect time because this is such a great movie. The only thing that I knocked this for, and it's just nitpicking, is the soundtrack is just a bunch of early 2000s rock bands, and I couldn't even tell you who it is. I know there's a name that everyone knows in the credits because they did like 3 fucking songs for this movie, but that's nothing really to knock it because that's just during the ending credits. I don't give a shit. It's like Logan, Logan. Perfect movie. And they use a Johnny Cash song during the credits that I don't like. And that's just nitpicking. So that was just me nitpicking Wrong Turn. Because I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how you couldn't have. Because like I said, this is part 1 of, I think, 7. And now they're rebooting it. Not all fantastic character, but every character is likable. I mean, the stoner and the horny girl, they're okay, but she's good to look at. She was the redhead that had to go after the dog in the Dawn of the Dead remake. But they serve their purpose. So great flow. I love that opening the opening credits. Love the end of this movie. The end fight. Just the look, the feel. You feel gross looking at some of the characters. You feel gross in the lair. Some of these mountain men are frightening, especially I think his name is like three finger or whatever, because there's a part where he's either stalking Emmanuelle or Eliza in the trees, and he's got a knife out. And he's just like a cat trying to say, "Oh, come here, kitty," like one of those things. So he's creepy, and he's the one that yells and shrieks and is horrifying. So that's good. Good gore. Not too over the top and in your face, but it works. So yeah, highly recommend Wrong Turn this week's Slashback Saturday Vacation Slashers. And it's a getaway. Joe, they took Eliza on a getaway to get her mind off of her breakup. So counts. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. All that crap. Check out Joe's channel. Participate in the Slashback Saturday. It's a lot of fun. My buddy Horror Gamer, he's now back on YouTube. He has jumped into the Slashback Saturday pool. He's having a lot of fun. And if you're new to YouTube, you just found my channel and you want to find out a way to start in it, do this. It'll help get your channel out because more and more people are doing the Slashback challenges, at least that I've noticed. So it's a lot of fun. Give Joe a sub, all that jazz. Comment below. Tell me, which is this your favorite of the series? Because I think I stopped after 4 or 5. The one with Doug Bradley. I don't know. Anyways, I'll just say cheers and happy Slashback Saturday. Do the challenge.